Hi, my name is Alex Varela, and today is December 28th, 2015. This is video number 9. This time I'm going to break it down into 4 parts. The first one would be events I forgot to mention before. The second part would be confessions or admissions by the voice that I mentioned before as well, which this time has become more unreliable than ever before, something that I'm going to explain later. Uh, Later events that happened over the last days, and finally my theories, as usual. I start by saying that an event that I remember lately over the last days was something very curious that happened back in 2008 when I was when I met on the street a former colleague at Rambler called Kathy Karigianis, and we worked together at Rambler. She approached me on the street on my way to work, and she told me that Carly, the girl that back there in Rambler, was pregnant. I didn't understand why he did that back then, and I suppose that because she was working for the team, something that The Voice lately has confirmed as certain. But the thing is, I never seen her again, as well as happened with other people. The other event that I remember that I forgot to mention is that there was this lady, Tracy G, that I replaced on the maternity leave in Cipsa, and she told me my second week working for the company that Amanda Lamont, a former manager, and Jonathan Dutton has a romance, an affair in the company. Something that I never mentioned before or after, and not even when the episode with Monique Di Paola took place, and who is mentioned again as her their employees as well for the team. This girl. I don't know that is what he's saying. Secondly, in regards to confessions and admissions, The Voice, who also has become, like I said before, much more unreliable lately. At first, a few days ago, he said he's American, that his team paid my speeding fines to the local authority here, that the landlords who rented me a room at all these years have been paid more than normal rent for their services, including McLennan and the Jackson Road, that my personal default was paid by them to the banks which were my creditors back then in my personal default. The loans from Springville Aid Center as well were also paid by them. He said that Kate, this job capacity assessor, supposedly at Centrelink, and well, she was working on behalf of them as an external consultant, is what she said. I explained about that before. He said that he was also a colleague of Dominic, the guy who I came across when I was living in Centrelink, an episode that I mentioned before, mentioning Afghanistan and also crazy things. This guy is saying that Colin Holt and Carly Holt, too, although I don't know this, her real name, but both were on their payroll as well. Something that I didn't explain, I think, thoroughly, was the fact that the full focus that I had back then in 2008 was financed through GE money, and there was I received a visit for the repossession officers from major collection agencies, yeah. And at some point that I was really close to give away the car, but the fact that I called the finance ombudsman here in Melbourne helped me out to resolve the situation, and they agreed, their intervention, they agreed a value for me to repay them. So I was able to, I found a buyer, an agency, who bought the car and sold me the Holden that I got now. Well, he says that that money was paid by them, the car, and this car, the Holden, is coming with the fully equipped, although it's an old car, but equipped with microphones, I don't know, that sort of thing. Um, Although there was an episode that I forgot to mention because it was not repossessed. It was agreed to pay a lesser value to GE money, that was agreed by them. He also said that back then in 2002, when I was working for John Deere Credit, they planted cameras in my apartment in Rosario and also in Buenos Aires, and when I was working for them. That's what he's saying. He also mentioned Mark Wester, who was the CFO at Advantage, a work that I lasted only a few weeks as working for them, as well as Stephen Crothers and Rob Kirby. Also, he mentioned Segarra Gomez and wife here in Noble Park, that I married, a couple that I live with. And he also mentioned Craig Lardner, who was the former CEO of CIPSA, Edwin O'Brien, and Morrows, Nigel Wallroper, as well as working for them. But he also mentioned my ex-brother-in-law, who I've known for more than 15 years, my ex-wife, Bob Francis. He also is saying that he's now working for the Russians and the Crown rather than the CIA, as he mentioned before. So all that makes me think that he's not reliable, and he became more desperate, I suppose. But he's not making any sense in a lot of things that he has been saying lately. Lately, something that I'm inclined to believe, because I'm watching the shows from there, is that a part of the Argentinian multimedia are favoring them, especially the Clarín Group, but also CN5, America, Channel 26, TN, etc. Well, by the way, Clarín Group is not allowing me to post any comments on the newspaper, so that is pretty likely. In regards to the events that happened over the last days, on the 22nd of December, I lost an upper front tooth, or part of it, and I'm showing this because it's important for what's going to happen in the future in regards to this. On the 23rd of December, I discovered a new network detected in my laptop called SOA-Honey, the name of this guy. The same thing happened before at Jackson's Road with Cherry. So it's something that I started to bring the attention of Ralph. On the same day, I called several dentists and clinics, with one of them asking me if I was Russian, which was strange. By the way, my dentist, the one that I should attend 8 years ago, she's back on January the 6th, so hopefully I'm going to see her again. On the 24th of December, I talked to Ralph about the new network created in my computer. He said that I didn't know what I was talking about, that it couldn't be possible. So I sent him by email screenshots of my computer showing that about the new connection. He also said that there was something that I had disconnected, but the only way to create a user on my computer is either entering into the room, sitting in front of the computer and creating a user, or doing remotely from another by hacking the computer. So either way, it's something serious. So I brought the attention from him about that. But well, we didn't agree, and so I'm trying now by myself to get rid of that situation. On the same day, there was a missing call on the same day, the 24th, at night, while I was trying to celebrate Christmas Eve. I received a missing call from Ascension Island, which is part of the St. Helena British territory. Then the number was 247-510-509. Try to call him back, but it's not possible. I don't know. Strange. On the 25th, an argument with Honey in the kitchen about overwashing the dishes. It became a bit physical, during which he mentioned that I accused him with Ralph of hacking my laptop. But when I tried to ask him about more details about that, he suddenly stopped, talking about something else, as he was receiving some instructions of stopping and talking about that. That makes me wonder if he can hear the voice too. I think that he can, and there are other things that make me think that he can. On a different note, and because of my dental problem, I talked to Ralph about skipping this fortnight payment to afford the visit to the dentist, and he accepted that. I mentioned that Maria from Matchworks, the job agency, mentioned that the neighborhood house are providers of free dental care, but it's not right. I checked their websites and they don't provide that kind of service. Something that I mentioned on Twitter as well. He seemed to know about that, and I suppose that perhaps they talk to each other, or they know each other. I don't know. Maria and Ralph, I don't know. On the 26th of December, after presenting the new idea of involving again the Australian Federal Police, I received response from Vicky. She didn't respond my first WhatsApp messages, but she suddenly responded after I mentioned that. But saying that she sent me a message saying that she couldn't talk to me, but didn't give me any explanation whatsoever. So I replied to her that I would call her on Friday again. On the 27th of December, I lodged, as I said before, a report online with the Australian Federal Police, as I did back in October 2012, in regards to Carly Holt and her team about stalking me, citing Commonwealth crimes as potential fraud against Commonwealth government, meaning money laundering and importing drugs. I think that the voice transmitted this very quickly, and the guys at home became very nervous. At noon, after that, Honey approached me while I having my lunch for a long chat about nothing, but making a few mistakes in the process. Perhaps trying to show me that he was not nervous about what I did before. I don't know. On the 28th, today, an email from a close relative in Argentina regarding New Year. Very strange, considering that I haven't heard from her in months. Yasser came back to the house after days of absence and seemed to be worried as well. And finally, my theories, well, after the incident with my car on the 19th of December, involving Joseph, Honey, the neighbor, the voice, which I described thoroughly on Twitter, and what happened with the new network connection in my laptop, I believe that despite the fact that they look nervous and worried, these guys are willing to keep doing the same things in regards to my family, friends, etc., etc. So at some point, the voice also told me that Julie Drummond, the person who signed the letter from AFP back in 2012, Australian Federal Police, worked for them too, meaning that they have powerful connections. Now, looking forward to fix my dental problem and talk to my daughter very soon, hopefully. And as I said before, well, it's all for now. But thank you, and until my next video. Bye. Thank you.